You can tell when your car battery's dying. But with your water heater, you'll never know until it starts leaking. Before you buy another tank, consider a Navien tankless water heater. No storage tank to heat or leak. Lower energy bills and endless hot water for spa-like comfort. All backed by Navien's strong warranty. If your water heater is over 8 years old, it's time to check out Navien at tanklessmadesimple.com.
Count on Navien.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. All right, Steve, you drive a lot. I know. To go from here to Puyallup every day, yes. You're in traffic a lot. You're driving a lot, putting a lot of mileage on the vehicle.
The Captain Commuter.
You are Captain Commuter.
Yes.
But there's a guy in North Carolina, he does have you beat. I'm sorry.
Okay.
He does drive a lot for work, about 60,000 miles per year. Drives a lot, man. And I don't know, man. You might be close to that.
I got to figure that out, man. Math is hard.
I think
I'm probably hovering around that.
Yeah. He does have you beat with his car.
Okay.
He's got a 19-year-old Honda Accord that recently hit the 1 million mark. And he decided that was the time he's going to retire. Imagine 1 million miles on a car. I mean, I was going to be excited if I get mine to 200,000.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
I mean, it just shows, I've always heard that the Hondas, like the Accords especially, just will last forever. My wife had an Accord, and she always wanted a new car, but the deal was, well, when your car dies, you can get a new car. And that car would not die. It was the greatest deal ever. Finally, it was just like, okay, we got enough money saved. We can get that new car. But at first, it was like, I think you're going to be stuck with this car until you're done.
Yeah, but, I got to take your word, because, it is according to her.
Oh. Wow.
Thank you.
Oh, geez, I just got it.
You just got it, didn't you?
Man, it's too early for that stuff.
No, there's never a good time for that, Rev.
Are you sure?
All right, thank you.
I feel like this is the good time.
Well, we talked about that. I remember I was at like a Jiffy Lube place, and some guy was talking about how his electric car, like the Prius or something like that, hit 1 million miles.
Yeah.
Because the person was commuting from here to Florida from time to time.
That's insane.
For work.
Yeah. So this dude, 60,000 miles a year, I guess, I'm trying to do math in my head too, but it's 19 years old. I guess that adds up to 1 million.
I'm sure sometimes you put a little bit more, maybe.
Yeah, I guess. And he had to replace the engine a few times, which I think when you replace an engine, doesn't that really much give you a new car? Isn't that what the miles are really on, is on the engine more than anything else?
That's a big part of it.
Yeah.
There's other things as well, of course, but that's a huge part of it.
Yeah, I feel like, you can replace almost anything on a car, but the engine's the one that you worry about with the mileage, but what do I know? But he says, a few times replace the engine, and he says the real secret, oil changes, Steve.
Of course. Yeah. Thanks for telling us the obvious.
Who doesn't get their oil changed?
Idiots.
Yep.
Yeah. I know you're supposedly able to go a little longer with this new synthetic oil, some of the really superstar oils, but
and also newer cars can last. What was the old adage was 3 months or 3,000 miles.
That was the old adage.
But that's changed with newer cars because they just perform better.
Yeah. And yet I still don't trust it.
So now you can go, I think, 6 to 9 months and 6,900 miles.
Oh, is that what it is?
There it is.
Wow, that's sexy.
Wait for that one.
Yeah, sure.
It's early.
Yeah. Now, he says also, Steve, I don't know if this is you. I'm not throwing out aspersions, but he says he's not aggressive when he drives, and that's another big secret.
Oh, I'm not aggressive at all.
Yeah,
I'm the most chill driver ever.
Yeah, I've never been with you and seen you aggressive. That's why. So I don't know if it's you. Vicky, on the other hand, she's like in the wacky races.
Oh yeah, I feel like I'm in Mario Kart. Wow, I drive.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not even gonna lie.
She's like looking for the cube to run over so she get a special power.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
we all feel like we're an asteroid when we're driving with you.
Oh, nice. Here he is talking about the whole thing.
2000 Honda Accord, and it's been absolutely phenomenal. When it got to 999,999, I took a picture, and then I started to drive, and I'm waiting for the odometer to hit 1 million, and then it doesn't. It stops there. I don't drive cars hard. I typically drive it in a non-aggressive manner. A little sad, but I think it's time to let her rest, let her retire. It's been an excellent car.
I don't drive cars hard.
No, this guy, you don't know the show, but this guy sounds a lot like Morgan from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
He's got that accent working. That you don't know, but it was just like, I was listening to this guy going, I like the way he talks, man. And he's like, damn. All right, he hit me with a bow stick, too, if I get out of line.
So it doesn't zero out when you hit 1 million? I wonder.
If it should.
Or does it just stay stuck at 999,999 miles?
Well, that's a good call. I wonder if it flips over or, like you said, if it's digital, it should, right?
Yeah, I have no idea. Well, I don't know how. Would it be 19 years ago? I guess it could be digital.
Oh, 19 years is a long time. 2000? Yeah, Sarah's got a 2001, and she doesn't have much digital in her car at all.
No?
She's got a Camry. And Sarah, you can do it too, because Hondas and Accords and Camrys are the same pretty much class of car, and therefore Toyota's got a good brand. Sarah, go for the $1 million.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
It looks like it's digital, but I'm waiting to see.
All right.
Yeah.
Because I say if it resets to zero, drive it a few miles and then sell it. Look, it's only got 100 miles on this thing. I barely use it. I know it's 19 years old.
Yeah, I literally backed it out of the driveway and put it back in that's it.
It was my parents. It was their car. They just drove to the store and back.
Yeah.
It was a half a mile.
Of course, I'll have to take your word.
No, I'm not.
To you.
No.
How about this? A man was arrested for pointing a bong at cops. That's right. Steve will tell you all about it. He's got the Miggs report for you at 6:17.
BJ and Miggs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
If you're hearing an informative newscast right now, well, then you must not be listening to BJ and Miggs. Live from the KISW News Center in downtown Seattle, this is the Miggs Report.
Well, thanks, guys. Thanks to Kia Pure for giving us the Miggs Report, and happy National Lost Sock Memorial Day.
Oh, whatever. What's the deal with these lost socks?
Well, then it's a perfect day today to go to KISW.com and purchase yourself the BJ and Miggs Rock Sock in the Rock Shop.
Oh, I like what you did there.
That's right, because I'm a company whore.
If you purchase 2 pairs like I always do, you never have to worry about a lost sock. Or if you kind of put your toe through one, you always have backup.
Or if the only socks you wear are black socks, it doesn't matter if you lose one because you have a bunch of other ones.
Or if you don't really care, you just wear one of each color. It's
all right,
fine.
there you go. Solutions for everyone.
Here's the thing. Vicky and Steve do not have a good sock game, which is why you go buy these new socks.
Excuse me?
Yeah, sorry.
I have Deadpool and Groot socks. Those are my top socks. You calm down. And a lot of Lilo and Stitch socks.
Wow.
Like 15 pairs.
Hey, Steve, did you ask for this information?
Are you guys still talking? Let me know when you finish.
Don't start crap.
All right, well, enjoy your lost socks, people. I used to lose them as a teen for different reasons.
Okay. Oh, my goodness. Me too. Those weren't lost. Those were pretty much sacrificed.
Yeah, they got thrown away.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about this guy in San Diego. He got arrested after somebody thought that he was pointing a gun at police on a 3rd floor window. Of course, that's going to freak some cops out. They're like, what the hell's going on? They evacuate the whole area. And then it turns out it was not a gun. And here's a cop describing to the reporters what they saw.
What was pointed at our officers was a replica firearm. It is gold in color upon closer examination. The firearm, this replica also appears to be a device to smoke marijuana. That individual will be arrested and booked in jail for exhibiting a replica firearm at law enforcement officers.
Dude. How stupid are you to point what looks like a gun at the police who have real guns?
Right.
Wow.
Well, he might have been a little under the influence because it was a bong.
Oh, good point. I got news for you. I've never been high enough to go, I'm going to point a gun at cops.
Hey, maybe he thought I'm on the 3rd floor. They won't see it, and this will just be a funny for me. Maybe I'll get a picture of me pretend pointing at gun, the bong gun. Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm trying to get in the
I know you're trying to get in the head of him. By the way, now I know what you're going to do when you get too high.
No, I'm not pointing anything at cops if I'm high.
All right.
I'm staying as far away from cops as I can.
Good job, buddy.
Well, then there's an idiot that also got arrested, and this guy, he just handed himself over to the cops. He's 27 years old, lives in Oklahoma City. His name is Alfred, and I guess he was busted because he was throwing concrete blocks through the windows of police cars in front of cops at the police station.
Yeah, he's a genius.
Yeah, that's going to get you in a little bit of trouble. And apparently this isn't the first time he's done it. He's known as the serial concrete block thrower. Back in 2015, he threw one through a cop car, and again in February of this year. So he's apparently got some issues with the cops.
Yeah.
The cops asked him, why do you keep doing this? And his answer, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure is his answer. Well, I'm glad he's still thinking about it. He's pondering the answer.
Yes.
You know, he's not young. All right, I'll give him time.
Hey, congratulations, Seattle. We are the least distracted when it comes to other major cities with distracted driving.
We are the least distracted?
That's right.
Those other cities must be terrible then.
Apparently, Seattle.
I'm very surprised to hear that.
The Seattle drivers spend the least amount of time looking at their phones instead of the road.
Wow.
The worst place? Houston, Texas.
Damn, dude. I honestly,
I know. I'm with Rev. Yeah.
Wow.
Just shows how many people are on their phones, man.
Yeah. Boy, I don't want to go to Houston, man. We have some friends that they do radio in Houston. That must be brutal.
Dude, I saw somebody, it was like right by like the PetSmart, and I was leaving Walmart, and it's right by the PetSmart as well yesterday. And there's a couple, an older couple, just trying to cross from like like in the parking lot. And you know, usually cars will stop. And this teen-looking kid, he's just on his phone, slowly rolling through.
Yeah.
Not even looking.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at this poor old couple. I'm like, man, if you weren't paying attention and just assumed that the car would stop, because that's typically what cars do when you get all the speed bumps and everything. This kid was not paying attention whatsoever. Probably had no idea there was a person they were about to run over.
Dude, that just happened to me this weekend, and I stopped in the middle of the crosswalk on Mercer Island because I was like, that car doesn't look like they're going to stop for me. And he rolled through the stop sign, and Steve, just like you said, it was a young dude.
Face deep
in the phone, and I'm like, wow. I mean, I could be dead right now. If I didn't pay attention. You got to pay attention in crosswalks, people. You really do. You earn the right, but you don't win when a 2,000-pound vehicle hits you. You are not a winner.
No, I was happy. Because I'm watching it from afar, and I'm just like, no. And luckily, everything was okay.
How was that again? No. You should have, like a bear, you should have treated it like a bear when that car was coming at you. Yeah.
You like that kind of a bear?
No, like the guy who fought the bear. Remember, he was like, F you, car.
Oh, that guy.
No! That's how you do it.
You off!
Car. Yeah. See, that's how you get a car to stop.
That'll stop anybody.
Yeah, see?
Hey, how about the Mariners? They couldn't stop scoring runs yesterday, finally. And Kikuchi pitching a pretty good game there. 3-hit ball over 7 2/3 innings, and the Mariners win 10-1 over the New York Yankees, although there's some controversy.
Yeah, I heard about this controversy.
I don't know if he's doing it, but if he is, it's working, so keep doing it. Apparently, a manager for the Yankees, Aaron Boone, he believes that there was a dark substance, and he's even noticed it on the cameras showing it, possibly illegal pine tar smudged under the brim of rookie pitcher Kikuchi.
Boy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Keep cheating if it means we're winning, right?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of pitchers do it, and sometimes, people don't mind if it's a cold weather situation, but I don't know how cold it was last night.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but 10-1 , boy, that was a nice little showing for the Mariners.
Yeah.
And they have one more game against the Yankees.
You know what you're doing.
Yep. Mariners, they have one more game for the Mariners. And they have one more game for the Yankees.
Yeah, that's a good point.
On.
Yeah. And then they go to Boston on the for the weekend.
No!
Yeah.
You off!
Steve!
How about the Seahawks? Big pickup yesterday. Big free agent signing. Defensive end Ziggy Ansah is now a member of the Seattle Seahawks.
It is official. I heard that there was some rumors, but now it's official.
Nope, he's here today to sign his contract. I heard the rumor, or I'm sure it'll be confirmed at some point, $5.5 million guaranteed for him. And obviously it's a guy that they're hoping will make up for the loss of Frank Clark, who was traded to the Kansas City Chiefs right before the draft. If it all works out, man, talk about genius John Schneider.
Yeah.
Making some great moves, opening up some room in the salary cap situation, getting a bunch of draft picks.
Yeah.
He's a great player. He's played with the Lions for a few seasons, but last season battling some shoulder injuries. So it's one of those things where people are saying if he stays healthy, this is a huge pickup for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah. It's what you got to do these days in football. You've got to bounce that money around.
So the word is they're not done, though, looking to pick up some more players. So who knows what's going to happen. Maybe they're going to add more depth to the pass rushing situation. But that was definitely a big acquisition for the Seattle Seahawks. That's pretty cool. How about the San Jose Sharks moving on to the Western Conference Finals? Woo! They beat the Colorado Avalanche 3-2 in Game 7. Now they'll be taking on St. Louis, the Blues, for the Western Conference Finals. Although that game could have been tied in the second period. I don't know if you were watching it.
I didn't. What happened?
Talk about the most bonehead move by a member of the Colorado Avalanche. So they're coming in. There's a line change going on. One of the players jumps off the bench. The other guy's taking his sweet-ass time opening the door to get into the...
Oh, no.
So he's technically offsides because he's still on the ice. The team comes on, goes into the offensive zone, scores a goal. Yeah. It gets pulled back because he's technically offsides. Because he was too lazy to just hop over the damn bench.
Oh, no, dude.
And that could have tied the game. Who knows how the game would have ended in that situation. But, man, they're done.
God, you know, he's got to feel like a jerk.
You would think.
He's got to feel horrible.
Tonight, you got the start of the Eastern Conference Finals. Your Boston Bruins, Game 1, taking on the Carolina Hurricanes, also known as the Jerks. So, Bruins versus the Jerks.
Yeah, I know you're rooting for the Jerks, but yes. You got to go with the classic. Okay, one of the OGs.
No, I don't.
All right, fine.
And you don't have to go with the Celtics anymore because they were just eliminated in the playoffs by the Milwaukee Bucks. I only bring this up because shout out to offensive lineman for the Green Bay Packers, David Bakhtiari. He was in like the front row of the game, and he doesn't just crush one beer. He crushes one beer while he's on camera, sees that people are looking at him, reaches below his seat, finds another beer, and crushes the next one.
Oh, he is a monster. Look at him go.
And he does it quick. Woo! Stands up, gets the fans riled.
Yeah.
Bucks win.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome. Thanks to Stevie, our buddy Stevie Shannon, who sent us that video.
Awesome.
It was pretty badass. I don't know what it is about offensive linemen, but they seem to like crushing beers when they're at other sporting events.
Yeah.
Because we mentioned the Sharks game. The offensive line for the San Francisco 49ers was in a suite. They showed them on camera. They start crushing beers and pouring beers all over one of their teammates.
Oh, that's fantastic. They are having a blast. Look at them.
They love drinking.
You know, it's really cool when teams of the same city come out and support their other teams when they're in playoffs. That's awesome.
And then just proceed to get wasted while they're there.
Well, of course.
Why not? As far as weather, 80 degrees. And thank you, Snoqualmie Casino, for giving us the Migs Report.
Oh, you're very welcome, Steve. Well, how about this? We talked about this earlier this week, that I'm kind of bummed that Washington State wouldn't be the first one to do it, just like we weren't the first one to make marijuana, I guess, decriminalized.
Okay.
Denver's, they want their mushrooms, man. The voters showed up at the polls yesterday, and the Mile High City is the first one in the U.S. to say, yep, psychedelic mushrooms no longer criminal.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, man.
That is. So magic mushrooms is the city's lowest law enforcement priority and prohibits the city government from using any resources to impose criminal penalties against adults over 21 years of age for personal use and possession of psilocybin.
So if you got it on you, the cops aren't going to care.
They're not going to care. Wow. The success of the ballot measure is one step in the wider legalization efforts for psychedelics, which are gaining public favor as a treatment for PTSD and trauma, especially with combat veterans. Of course, Joe Rogan is a big proponent of all this, and I wouldn't be surprised if his voice has been very, very helpful, at least in this situation, because Joe has been really, really vocal about this.
I can't even go back in time to college times. You know, granted, we were maybe using mushrooms not in the way to help when you're having some PTSD. We were just doing it just to kind of see the other side, man, and watch Dark Side of the Moon or listen to Dark Side of the Moon and watch The Wizard of Oz and stupid stuff. But if you would have told us, a bunch of dumb college kids, thinking we're such rebels because we're doing mushrooms, that one day that it could be decriminalized and maybe one day even be legal.
Yeah.
I would never have guessed that.
Dude, there's something about humans that just somehow they know what to do. Like, why would we do mushrooms and in other cases like ayahuasca? Why would anybody even think to do that in life? Because I will tell you this. I don't know about you, Steve, but because I haven't done mushrooms. Mm-hmm. But ayahuasca is not a high that I would do recreationally. I only did it because I was told it was a medicine, it was a healing, it could really help you with some issues. And I'll tell you, having done 3 sessions of ayahuasca, it is not fun. When you come down, you feel like you're on Molly, from what I've heard about Molly. But you still have like maybe 6 hours of just beatings when you go through it.
I mean, it depends on how much. Like, I haven't done mushrooms in a hot minute, but in my times, it's fun. I ain't gonna lie. Like,
really? Is it?
Oh, yeah.
I never had fun.
But I mean, there are moments. It depends on how much you take. Like, if you're going for Vicky probably could attest. Like, if you want to go hardcore and just hallucinate, yeah, you're going to have some periods during that trip that are going to suck. At least for me. But everyone's different. You know, I've had those moments where I'm like lying in a bed begging God to make it stop, and I'll stop doing anything that's bad. Like, please, I'll be the best person in the world if you just make this stop. Like that kind of a situation. Yeah. But the good outweighed the bad in a sense. I don't mean to be like Captain Pro Mushrooms.
Captain Mushrooms. Well, why not?
Man, oh man, like it's definitely not something I would ever want to do on a frequent basis, though. It's like maybe a few times total in a year back when I was doing it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. I think I've only technically done it twice, because the second time I did a caramel and I didn't really feel a whole lot, but I did it in a kind of what you did with ayahuasca, to kind of go towards a learning experience and figure some stuff out. But I made sure I was in a comfortable environment. I was with people I trusted. So my experience with it was all positive.
Yeah, well, it looks like that. Look, we followed suit when it came to marijuana and what Denver did, and Colorado rather. And so, how about this?
The day it becomes legal, I don't know if I want to be in that city where it becomes legal.
Yeah,
because I remember in college, it was always such a dry spell to get your hands on mushrooms. And we're talking like late 90s, right? So it was a dry spell. So whenever like the mushrooms showed up, quote unquote, you know?
Yeah.
When it was in season.
Right. Everybody would get their hands on it from whoever their friendly neighborhood mushroom guy. And everybody would do it that night or that weekend.
Yeah.
And so you would walk the streets and you can tell it was like a zombie apocalypse just started.
Wow.
Everyone's looking at each other kind of weird, and everyone's just kind of got like that glow to them. I don't even know if I want to be in Denver when all this starts going down.
Dude, I just thought of a really great business idea. If it ever gets legal here in Seattle, you find different parks and stuff and offer hiking or like very not
mushroom adventures,
and you get those little chains they do for like daycares with little kids where they all have to hold onto the chain.
Oh, you need that
so they don't run off. It's like, all right, everybody, hold on to the chain. Like, and you just have like one person be like the Sherpa guide, like, okay, we're gonna go look at the forest, and are able to take care of people and keep them hydrated. We could be thousandaires, dude.
Well, that's what they did. That's what this company did for the ayahuasca.
Makes Mushroom Park.
Let's do it. Yeah. They did it. Look, they took us to the Amazon, deep in the jungle to do it, and they had folks that, like you said, that you could trust and professional. And then they took us on tours like we were on the Amazon River, like during the non-hallucinogenic times.
Well, instead of the Amazon River, we can just do, Carkeek Park in North Seattle.
All right, well.
Yeah, I've done that on mushrooms. That's kind of creepy at night.
Whoops.
Not at night.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, don't walk around Capitol Hill at night when you're on mushrooms. It freaks you out.
Oh, yeah.
Although there's people that talk about, we're talking silly recreational end, but then there's this stuff that is, like one person says my wife microdoses mushrooms for her bipolar, and apparently there's a few other people that are saying that they do it on a microdose level to help with certain situations that they're battling.
And of course, this is all natural, because they're mushrooms and they grow. And I love that we're decriminalizing things that grow, because I feel like they were criminalized in the first place because of the pharmaceutical industry way back in the day. Mm-hmm. Because they'd rather manufacture something that you can patent as opposed to just getting something that comes out of the earth. So I think this is fantastic. Yesterday, Steve, he got this one right, but it took too many guesses.
What is the biggest selling boy band of all time?
Ooh, Jackson 5.
No.
New Kids on the Block.
No.
NSYNC.
No.
Backstreet Boys.
Yeah. You only do that because your wife doesn't like the Backstreet Boys.
Screw the Backstreet Boys.
Okay.
Screw you, Danny.
Whoa, hot take.
Okay.
I got extra solidarity with the wifeski.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Big wars. NSYNC versus the Backstreet Boys. It's a bloody battle.
On the Rock.
Yeah. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Migs at 647 on the Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How do I know if bankruptcy is going to provide me with relief? What are the steps for my situation?
There's so much information out there about bankruptcy with the internet and what people have heard from friends and other people that they've talked to about their financial issues or bankruptcy. There's also a lot of bad information out there or urban legends about bankruptcy. In order to determine whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, you need to talk to an attorney that's experienced in bankruptcy. So in order to determine whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, you should talk to an experienced bankruptcy attorney. And my job is not to convince you to file bankruptcy. My job is to help you to make that decision and have all the facts so that you can make an informed decision about whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, what benefits it's going to have for you, and what the downside of filing bankruptcy is.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com.